Speaking at a media encounter today on a variety of issues, the Minister of Information said government will provide the necessary support to the bereaved families.
I think it's heartbreaking to receive this news, which is contrary to all our best hopes as a country. Obviously, it's shocking. It's a shocking moment, first for the families and to the nation at large. Government, through the President, has had opportunity to express condolences to the families directly, and will continue to engage and provide the families with the necessary support even at this stage. But it is a heartbreaking and a painful moment for us as a country. The police administration, if I followed their press conference well, tell us that though they regret that they didn't get enough actionable intelligence in good time to have rescued these girls, at least they have been successful in getting the persons behind this currently in the grips of the law, and will put them before the law courts for justice as much as possible to be done. The Auditor General is speaking about it publicly as though it is an irrebuttable, uncontrovertible fact that has occurred. Indeed, if you read the audit summary, I didn't see it say that that there was no work done. What I see them write, and if I just can find it and quote it properly, it says that there is no evidence, or there was no evidence to the auditors of work done. That doesn't mean that there's no work done. They just, at the time they were doing their audit, were not apprised with that evidence. And it's understandable because the ministry responsible for finance said, well, that evidence is at the office of the senior minister. I have to fetch it for you. So you can even understand how they come by theirs, by their position, which is why when you appear before Parliament, then you can explain that. We understand why they will say they didn't see evidence at the time they were conducting this audit at the Ministry of Finance. But we have fetched it, and this is what it is. The challenge, however, is that now when you go out, and these days you have platforms that go out and put it out as though it is an irrebuttable, incontrovertible fact. And that is what then leads to the creation of a certain impression when the party has avenues to respond to some of these findings, or even challenge them if he or she chooses so to do even before the courts. They would have that right so to do. So I think it is that impression that the Ministry of Finance seeks to correct, and to serve notice that they would appear before the appropriate forum and furnish them with all of that evidence.
The board chairman of the National Road Safety Commission in Ghana, Reverend Ismaila Hans-Smithson Audu, tells Citi News a final decision on the legalization or otherwise of what is popularly known as Okada for commercial purposes is based on wider consultations among various stakeholders.
Something drastic is being done about it. We have gone throughout the country seeking stakeholders' consultations and views as to whether to regulate and to ban and all of that. And very soon the report is going to be made public as to the findings and the recommendations to go that way. But we are not resting. We have to make sure that we cut down that area also very drastically.
I realize that the kaya is too hard, that I have to find something to do. So I start roasted granuts like megujia. Then after that, I learn how to sew. After gathering money from the granite selling, I use that money to go and learn how to sew. My father sent me to a lady. Then her name was Mrs. Frimpong Atatumso. Some of my savings that I have, and I pay, that time they say with Trinsa, I pay my Trinsa. And that time to every month you have to pay for the trade, like the skill that you are learning. So I was selling oranges in the night around our house, so that early in the morning I'll get money so that I can use that one for my chop money.
After completing her apprenticeship, she started her own shop in a veranda. She sewed for people on commercial basis and gradually raised money to train other girls from poor backgrounds in the profession. Today, her perseverance and determination to change the narrative of her family is paying off. Unij Fashion Company Limited, located at Ahensan, is one of the known names in Ghana's garment industry. The company now sews and supplies uniforms to almost all senior high schools in and out of the Ashanti region. Other corporate entities also take stock of their uniforms from the company. Since its establishment, the company has trained many and can currently boast of over 200 permanent workforce and over 400 contract workers. The company is setting up a factory which targets to train and employ about 1,000 youths in Ghana.
I started work here when I was in 18 years and I finished SS. And I came here, my sister brought me here to learn how to sew. And I sew well, I sew very well because of my good behavior. My madam said she will not allow me to go anywhere. So she trained me into school uniform business. And I also learned very hard. From since that day up to now, I haven't been to any work at all. All my support was with my madam.
Her husband, Thomas Abobigo, realizing the prospects of the business, quit his profession as a banker with Auditor General in the year 2000 to take up the administrative part of the company.
The work was going up, and so there was the need for a lot of administrative structures to be put in place so that we can keep track of our records and so on and so forth.